All right, hello everyone. So today's Wednesday, the 15th. Now let's take a look. Now remember this, I've got gold in front of me. I've already put the Astro hours onto the 15th. But yesterday, what did I say yesterday? I said these are the Astro hours, 10, and then I said 2:45, 3:30, 4:30 needs care during pre-session and opening, and then we've got the swing hours coming in there. So they should be like moving on. So this is the pre-session, right? Remember, the platform is an hour behind me at the moment. So when I say like 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, you know what I'm talking about, which is here 1:30, 2:30, 3:30. Okay, so this is going to be 3:30 is pre-session. That's 3 o'clock there, 3:15, 3:30 there. And this is how it's coming right up into the target, as you can see. Okay, that's that there. This is also, like I said, is a push. Now, remember, I said yesterday when I was doing the euro dollar analysis, I said, guys, we've got planets which are on a breakout mode as well. So if the market breaks out, comes back into an Astro hour, and this is that moment there. This is 2:30, so got 3:30 and so on. So this zone, as you can see, market sizzling into the Astro hours, and then just basically boom, going right into the target. Now with gold, we had these targets, as you can see, we had that level as well yesterday. Accordingly, let's take a look at the daily. So I said this still has room to go up, and I also said if it does go up, we should have room to sell down as well. Okay, we still have a bit of room to come down, but yesterday I said we should be going up, and then we want to be selling off. Okay, so remember also the swing day for gold was not Tuesday, it was Monday, and then we've got Wednesday today. Okay, so Wednesday could still be a swing day for us today. So these are the highs. If you take a look at the daily today, that is going to be 58, which is 1979. So if the market decides to go up a little bit more, now what we've got is from here, just move this up here, 1979. All right, so you can see our targeting is pretty good. When we want to get to places, we need to make sure we have targets. Why is that important? Well, this also allows us to coordinate with the Astro hours, isn't it? If I'm in no man's land, then obviously I don't want to be trading. So this is nice. If you sold off here at the target, you should still have been okay. If you bought here as well, because yesterday I said if it comes down like into the daily pivot, this is where the daily pivot was yesterday. All right, so today's daily pivot is up here. So if the market now comes back down into the weekly again, the market may push up again. Okay, so markets doing impulse waves up with gaps. We got to be a bit more careful with gaps because sooner or later they're going to have to come back to fill it in. So if I go back to the daily, we can check out how far this can go according to our technical analysis. Okay. Now, as you can see, this is where the buck stopped, okay, because that was it, as you can see. And this could be like this A, B, C kind of thing coming lower, all right? So that could be happening. If it doesn't come any lower, and this is the A, B, C, which is also possible, then what will happen is it'll go up and they'll come back down, either back into this range or slightly lower, and then we'll push up again. Why do I say that? Because if you draw your fib from here to here, okay, the price here is still at a premium, as you can see. All right, so it's still expensive. That's what it basically means. So what we want to do is come to a discount before we really think about going up again, and that will also give us an opportunity to fill in the gaps here. All right, so we'll see how things pan out. But at the end of the day, what to do for today, we've got room to go up on the weekly. We can still go up a little bit. You can see how also here on the weekly, that gap has closed off. All right, maybe a touch more up is okay. On the daily, is there a bit of a gap? Maybe just this gap, maybe this gap. Let me just put this here. Maybe it'll want to fill in that zone there. Okay, there. So does that bring us into 1979? Pretty much does. All right, so we could probably get into that 1979, which I marked in. I'm also going to put this right on the edge here, which should be like 1980. Okay, so about 83, which should be the low of that. Yeah, 1983. Okay, so that's still an opportunity there. And today is a swing day. So Monday was a swing day, nice up move. Wednesday is a swing day. Now we can operate downwards, and then if it does come down, then we'll probably head towards somewhere till the next swing day. Okay, you can check out the swing days also on the 13th of November there. Okay, you guys got that on Monday in any case. Let's take a look. So what to do on this one? Gold. Let's go back into the 15-minute chart. We still have a bit of room to go up. If it breaks out, pulls back, you want to buy, you can still do that, but just be mindful now because I've put 83 here as well. So if it does turn out to be that swing day we're looking for, the market can come up and then kind of like sizzle down with that. Okay. So that's okay for gold. All right. So if the market has got room, a bit more room to go up because it's pretty violent. I said this week is going to be pretty hectic, so we need to be careful. But this is your first port of call because on the weekly and the monthly, we don't really have a spot. We're going to have to go with the daily. If it breaks above this 58 level, which is this 1979. So if we break above this 79.83 zone, okay, 79. Let me bring this into 83 here. Okay, if we break above that, don't stand in front of it, okay, because then we're going to have to check things out from another perspective. Okay, but today is a swing day. In any case, we should have some kind of a retracement coming down on this again from here downwards. This is also the middle of the channel there as well, as you can see. So this is going to be for us like also a resistance area. So be a bit careful, a bit more room to go up, maybe to push up into that 58 zone, which is viable on any slight retracement into the Astro hours. Okay, yesterday as well, like I said, you needed to be careful at the opening, which I did say breakout aspects are gonna breakout possibility is there because of special aspects if you watch yesterday's video. So that's basically it. Now today we're also going to have in New York some fast moves happening, especially towards after 4 o'clock towards 5:25 my time, and from there even on after 6:50 we could have sudden surprise moves. Okay, so the market is a bit volatile because October and November were the most relevant months of the year with all the action Jackson happening, so they're going to be important as well. But remember, like I said, this is a swing day for gold, so the highs are not a bad idea to also think about shorting if the price is right, especially up here as well. Okay. SP 500 now with SP 500, see what the market has done. Yesterday I said we have room to go up. I also said you could sell here. If you sold here, let me just see where that is. We don't have a price on that one, but I did say there's the goodbye kiss here and there's the indecision bar here. So as you can see, the market just shot up, but let's take a look at the Astro hours first. Now, as you can see here, okay, these are the Astro hours, and this is the opening, right? That 2:30, 3:30. Okay, so that's 2:30 here. Now, yesterday's daily pivot was here. I also said if the market dips back down here is okay. You could have also bought here as well. Why? Because the market retraced back, remember? So the market went up. This is an Astro hour. Market goes back into an Astro hour where the market bought before, and then it just shoots up right into the Astro hours. Now, I had these targets before, as you know, 4,455, and I said this is a bit far out, okay, because it was on the weekly. Remember, it's like far out, and it has kind of like done the far out. Okay, this is why I always say, remember, if the market breaks out against the PST, don't go against it, just go to the target when there's a retracement. And this is exactly what happened. It just went all the way up into that retracement. Now remember, when it got to the Astro hours here, still went up a little bit. If you sold off here, that would have been a stop out. Okay, it just would have been a stop out. But if you're also like experienced in the market, you should know that there's a big push like this. You don't want to be standing in front of it before you see something relevant. Okay, so basically, this is why we're using technical analysis and astrology together. So if you went to the upside, which was also doable, that's fine. Now this whole area is now irrelevant for us. Okay, this is now going to be completely irrelevant. So we're going to have to just get rid of all of that. Okay, so we're going to have to look at things now from a completely different perspective and get rid of this as well, because this is now over. Okay, the market's not doing it. As you can see, bang, bang, bang. Maybe we'll even go all the way up into somewhere. Okay, this also now gives us, where are we? We're in November 15. We still have what, 4 months, right? No, more than 4 months, 5.5 months. Okay, so we've got 5.5 months, 5 months, let's say, until we should hit a low. All right, so the market still might push down. Now I'm going to get rid of this as well. This is also irrelevant now. Okay, but these are going to be relevant for us because this is a gap which the market will want to come back and fill in. All right, so now that's also going to be irrelevant. We're just going to sit back and watch. Now remember, the swing days, I said you could just sit back and relax and wait for the swing days. For SB 500, Wednesday is a swing day. Okay, now Wednesday being a swing day, what can we do with this, right? We can obviously, if the market goes up a little bit more, we can sell it off. Where? Well, that's one level. These are even highs here. So put 4541 on the cards. 4541, which is up here. Okay, but what we're going to do is 4541. If you take a look at the weekly, we were like pretty much in this zone now. So this 60, 62, as you can see here, 4562, 4530. So 4530. We still have a bit of room up here. So the market can still tap these, and if it does, I think it's okay to sell off, to be honest. Why? Because the swing day, it's like up here. So, and it's also on the PSDs here pretty much. So I'm good to short on those levels, 4530, 4562, and that's basically it. 4562. Okay, so this is one zone, that's another zone. If the market does push up, I'm okay to actually sell from those levels. Let me just refresh this and bring the daily pivot up here. So remember, it's the same kind of thing here. Market is just retracing back into the Astro hours, and just it's a big boom up. So that's that. Now then, let's take a look at euro dollar. Euro dollar as well, I said yesterday, it's a bit of a squeeze, and I'm looking at the possibility that the market will probably go up because we've got higher highs and higher lows happening. And I said the squeeze on the PST is actually really, really good, because if it's an Astro hour and we come back into some price level, we can then push back up. So if we take a look at the euro dollar, let's do this. Okay, now remember the first target I said was 1.0705. So if we break above this, okay, then I said we'll probably go up into 0730, which was the first target. It went up there and then retraced into the opening. And then in the opening, it shot up right into the Astro hours there. 1.0880 is something, okay, you should have had there. Okay, so that's your goodbye kiss there as well. 59 is 0906. 0906. Sometimes, because they seem too far out on the chart, I'm like, yeah, well, it's just a bit too far out, so I don't put the targets. But if you're using ATAM, we should, definitely put them out there, because this thing rocks. Really, the ATAM strategy is just rocks. And these were the targets yesterday, as you can see. They all just got done. Okay, 68.70, 1.0836. Well, they were just, I probably didn't put these up as targets because they were too far out, but as you can see, 0836, it's just all been done. All right, here. So now, today also euro dollar. Euro dollar Monday was a swing day, and this is your Monday. All right, so Monday, swing day going up into Wednesday. Now, the next swing day for the euro dollar is still got room, right? So the market can still go up a little bit more into that swing day. And remember, I said we also have Mercury line here, higher highs, higher lows, good squeeze, flag formation, triangle on the euro dollar, and that's just a big push up. And here's your goodbye kiss right there. Now I can get rid of this. Okay, this is no longer relevant, so we don't need it. This is also no longer relevant. We don't need it. This is also no longer relevant. We don't need it. And that's that. So this is the beginning of that big push move. All right. And that's that. Now, if there's something happening, the gap here is filled out as well, as you can see. Okay. So what we can do basically is just stick around here. Would it go even further up? Well, with the markets, you never know. They could. Okay. But that big wick is what we can take into account with the body of this candle here. All right. But because it's done that goodbye kiss here and filled in the gaps here, filled in a little gap there, I don't see much room for going further up. Okay, not without a retracement anyway. If the market does retrace back, which it should do, it needs to come all the way back down here, back into the 07 zone here. All right, so I don't see the market maybe no more pushing up than this. Okay, also, yeah, that might be the way to go. If the market is up here somewhere during the Astro hours, then especially in the evening session in New York, then selling is not a bad idea. If the market sells down and then goes up into an Astro hour, selling again with a tight stop loss is not a bad idea at all. But the market being pushy means that we need to be careful. Why? Because there's such a big, strong push, right? If you're going to go against it, you better go against it at a decent level at the right hour. And obviously, with a smaller lot size, so you can first test the waters or wait for the impulse wave and then enter on the retracement with a tight stop loss just above the high is going to be okay. Right? And that's basically it. But with the euro dollar, we were expecting the market to go up. It's pretty much done all the targets. You should take profit or really stick your stop loss right up the low of today, low of Asia. Let's take a look at, let's do this, whoops, Dow Jones, NASDAQ, and Bitcoin. Now with NASDAQ, we had a swing day yesterday, but remember, if you watched the video that I did on the weekend as well, a swing day can either be a reversal or it's going to be like a big push day. All right. This is what really a swing day is, where the market is just like pushing. So with the SP 500, for example, Wednesday, with gold being Wednesday swing days, these might be the time for the retracement. If I actually take a look at also um, SP 500 natal chart, let's say, and see, while that's doing that, I'm just going to check out the natal to today, and which should still actually bring us into doing a trade in the New York session. Okay, so somewhere around, that 350 time period is okay. All right, so Dow Jones, here we are. Okay, so this was the opening, which I said you should be careful about. Yesterday needs care. The market went up. This is a bit in the middle of nowhere, as you can see, but the market went up and then retraced into the Astro hours here, and then boom. All right, just shot up, as you can see. Now, we had this target up here, as you know. It did that, and that's also today's daily pivot, so I'm going to get rid of that. We've got here, let's keep that there, 35.18, I think it was. There. All right, so this is now, remember, Wednesday SP 500 swing day. Now, Dow Jones was yesterday, wasn't it? Sorry, Dow Jones is Thursday and Friday. My apologies. Dow Jones was not a swing day. Today is not a swing day today, but it's Thursday and Friday. So SP 500 is today. NASDAQ was Tuesday. All right. And then we've got NASDAQ was Monday, Tuesday. And Dow Jones, is more towards the end of the week. So now what we might see is the market, doing this goodbye kiss here as well. Remember, I drew this before. It's a goodbye kiss here. There's a bit of a gap here, just a small one, not really a big deal. And this is where the market broke that level there. Okay. And here we might just retest this level, maybe sweep some stops and push down as well. Now on the weekly, remember with this one as well, just like with the others, we said we've got room to go up, and that's 58 is that 35.18, which I talked about. And once there's a breakout, this was a bit of a tricky situation here. This is why I said yesterday there are some breakout planets involved, and this was the resistance, you can see. Okay, even if you just played the breakout and just waited for it and just played the breakout, you should have been, at the end of the day, okay going up into those targets. But that's just how it is. So because SP 500 is a swing day today, Dow Jones has got one tomorrow. So today, tomorrow, and Friday is a common day for all of them. We might find ourselves somewhere swinging from the highs from Wednesday to Friday, which will be logical. So if the market goes to a place, sells off, and then we retest it again, or even make a slightly higher high, then selling again is going to be an option. Okay, and that's just how it is. Also with the swing day, you can see that's this is Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday is here, right? So that's your Monday there with NASDAQ, which we're going to see in a minute as well. All right, so once the goodbye kiss broke out here, it's just that's your logical next level. So what are we going to do? We're going to get rid of these. Okay, we are going to get rid of these. All right, so I said this month will be a bit hectic, and that's just how it is. Where can we draw now our lines? Well, we can say to ourselves, let's do this. This whole thing is going to be a bit too much. If I just take the wick, it might be a better option. Which is going to be there. Okay, so this zone again, because it's an because it's a swing day for Dow Jones, for swing day for SP 500, and tomorrow is a swing day for Dow Jones. Today, tomorrow, we can start to look for highs to sell off at. Okay, also Friday. So it's a little tricky, but I think these are levels where the market will want to sell off again. You can see the stock market's like pushing up again from this zone, which was pretty strong, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, what goes up needs to come down and fill in gaps. So we should still find ourselves down here sooner or later, trying to pick up the pieces to go back up again. And like I said, that could be spring 2024. So what to do with the Dow Jones? Well, look at these levels. Okay, so this is one level here, high off yesterday. And is there anything else on the daily? Let me just check. There's nothing on the daily. So on the weekly, we've got that 35.18. Max out is 35.406. So 35.406 max is there for us anyway. So if the market does go there at an Astro hour, I think selling is not a bad idea. And also around here, it's not a bad idea as well. 35.400. 35.400. Okay, just around there. And then we should come back. Where should we come back down to? At least all the way down into that 34.415, where the market broke out, or that manipulation bar there. Okay, let's take a look at NASDAQ. Now with this, we had higher levels as well. We've got another one there. But on the daily, let's take a look. Remember, this was a swing day for NASDAQ, so I was expecting the market to maybe sizzle down, but it didn't. Instead, let's do this. See where this is coming from. That flag formation pretty much breaking out, as you can see. So that is this zone here. Why do we need that zone? Because that's where the gap is filled out. Okay. So, oops, let me just redo that into there. If I make this a little bigger, you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's that. So if you just draw that zone as well, this should also be a place where now the market could sell off. Okay, so this was a bit of a drama yesterday because I said we could look for sells. Okay, but if you're using your ATM strategy, once it breaks out, because this was the breakout thing, and remember I said I am expecting breakouts today, so this is why we had targets on the higher upper side of things. But as you can see, it's just like full on. But November was meant to be a month, also October as well. November, October were 2 months which are pretty dodgy this this year. So we still have a bit more room to go into that 65, which is that 16,045, which is there. All right, so it might have a little bit more room to go up. This looks like a runner as well. So if the market pulls back, if you want to go up a little bit more, I would do it cautiously because that will like up here. Obviously, there's a big push up, so the market might want to follow it through, but sooner or later it'll want to come back to a rebalance, and that rebalance is going to happen with a fill-in. So don't be also too ecstatic in buying at prices which are just too expensive. That's what a lot of people do. They buy stuff, they get excited, and they buy things when the price is too high where it's been sold off before. This is not what we do. What we can do is when the market breaks out at an astro hour, or if we determine there is an astrological planet that can do a breakout, then you can definitely follow it through into your astro hours. But other than that, as you can see, it's just a bit crazy here. This is 545. We had yesterday 545, but on the platform it should be 445. Whoops, which is there. All right. We had 445 till 5 o'clock. So 4 to 445. Plus we had what, 9 o'clock, 9:30, which is 8 o'clock, 8:30. Let's see. This is your 8:30 there, and that's your 8 o'clock there. All right. So the market really stabilizing at those levels. So be mindful. Okay, if it keeps going up first, I'd be looking for a sell setup, because also sudden up moves are a good opportunity to come to a place where the market will want to sell off as well. So just match it with your Astro hours. This is going to be your double top zone. So maybe sweeping above that, coming into these targets, okay, might be the way to go. Okay, other than that, I don't have much levels here. As you can see, that LCL one is 16,238, which is up there. And on the weekly, the closest one is that 65. You could also put, I guess, 6168, which is 16,237. Okay, 16. But, you can see they're like a bit too far out. 16,273, 237, sorry, is there. Okay, so there still might be a bit of room to go up, but these would be, for us, in my opinion, selling levels as well. As the market gets up in there, we should be in that sell. All right, so a little tricky. Let it get to the PST targets, because this is why I say when the market breaks the PST level, just let them go and don't stand in front of them. Okay, and that's just it. So a bit tricky yesterday. Bitcoin, now with Bitcoin, as you know, we were expecting the market to come down a little bit. So from the highs, that's not really a drama. I said if it does retrace up, you can sell off again. So as you can see, the market, that was an Astro hour. What was this? This was obviously the opening hours pre-session, which I talked about. Okay, so this is going to be like 3:30 my time, which is going to be 2:30 on the platform here. That's your 2:30. And then I also had 3:30 on the platform, which is here. Okay, which is on that buy, and this is where the market just boom, you know, crashed down. So when the indices are obviously making a good premium up, this is where the market is kind of like selling off, I guess. But this is at already a target level, as you can see. If you're using your ATM strategy, you guys should know those like targets. If you sold off, you should take money. All right, you should take money. In my opinion, we should still come down, because technically it's not fair valued at the moment. And this is why I said we should like close the gap, and then the market should sell off. And this is why I had these lines here, that this zone's a sell off at Astro hours. You can push down if the market goes up into an Astro hour, you can push downwards into targets. If we close this week lower than this one, then next week also in the retracement will be an excuse to close the gap here. Okay, also on the daily it's pretty obvious too, not just on the weekly, but this whole zone needs to be like closed up. Okay, so the market should go up a little bit, maybe to see the low of this, which is 36,333. So 36,333 is going to be around here. Right there. So if we get back up to the weekly there, this is okay to sell. This is okay to sell as well, because there's a bit of a gap here, as you can see. So if the market fills in that gap, it's okay to sell off as well into lower levels, like down here. Also on Bitcoin, you still have that 45, 34, 600, which is pretty close to here. Okay. So yeah, pretty much so. The way I'm looking at crypto is we should go down, wave down in any case, until we get to that spring 2024. So if you're a buy and keep long-term vision person, I still say we've got time to buy. This is a good push up, but we need to wait for the fill-ins to go long again, in my opinion, and that should happen by spring. So waiting for that. If you want to sell, wait for the pull up and then sell off. This is also a swing day, which is tomorrow. All right.